All right.
He
There's
does
a
that
segue, by
sometimes,
the way.
Mover.
Go
He
watch
does.
Full Trickle
What do
2 and don't read Movers' books. I don't know what to tell you.
What
I'd
did
read
you
Movers'
think
books.
of
They're better.
the race in Chicago?
There it is.
See,
Paul
that's a
must
good
have read your
segue because
mind.
we were going to talk about. Yeah, it really is. Paul is on the ball. Mover, what did you think of the race?
On you, man.
So here's what I thought, because I'm probably the only NASCAR guy here. Definitely the only NASCAR guy here.
I mean, it's fine.
I thought that the 4th of July should be Daytona. Like the night race, the Pepsi race is, to me, that's tradition, just like the first Daytona race, the Firecracker 400 or the Pepsi 400 or whatever it's called this year. That should be the July race. However, I watched the Chicago race, and when they said we're going racing and the track was wet and it had just been raining, like the race car driver in me was like, ugh. Because I've raced in the rain. Have you ever raced in the rain? You ever done road racing in the rain? Either of you? It sucks. It sucks. I mean, it is not fun. No traction. You can't see anything. Everything's fogged up. Like, I felt for those dudes, especially narrow track, first time on the track. You know, it's just, it had the recipe to be just a disaster. But they did really well. And they did really well on wet tires, and then the track dried up and they went to dry tires. And the storyline became, I'm going to butcher the name just like every other. Hold on, let me make sure I'm going to read it right. Shane Van, it's either Gisbergen or Gisbergen because they call him the Jizz. So I'm not real sure. But the Kiwi from down under, he races the Aussie Supercar V8 series. He showed up and he was like, "Oi, I got this." And
because Aussies are nuts. That's what makes them awesome.
He was just like, he's Kiwi. And as I was corrected on Twitter.
Sorry.
But the last 10 laps.
New Zealander?
Yeah. The last 10 laps were epic. It was a great race. I mean, it was just, that's your storyline. This dude showed up and had never been in a NASCAR before, had never been, like, first time in the US, first time driving a NASCAR. He's like, yeah, I got this. And then he just won. And he made everybody else look like he was like 2 seconds faster than the fastest lap.
Wasn't that
guy was awesome?
Just
I don't
like
think he was real NASCAR.
Who was open wheel, and then he had never driven. And
he wasn't open wheel, though. He was supercars. They're almost the same car.
Well, okay.
And that's
I'm just saying.
Mover, I mean, I watched the highlights. It didn't. I mean, it was a car race, but it wasn't to me. It wasn't a NASCAR race.
Why? Because
happened to be NASCARs driving through the city, racing through the city.
Yeah, I mean, when they went to the next gen car, I mean, it's basically an IMSA car. I mean, that's why they were able to take Garage 56 and go to Le Mans. I mean, that is the evolution of it: independent rear suspension, center lugs, all that stuff. But it makes for good road racing, at least.
Sure.
200 mile an hour on the high bank. That's NASCAR to me.
I don't disagree.
I'm old-fashioned, clearly.
Yeah. No, man. I have a lot of respect for true NASCAR. When I did the Shelby School and went to Charlotte and was up on it doesn't say Mustang School, Corvette nerd. So when I went to the Shelby School,
triggered.
You're on that bank. That's legit, man. Like, that's a whole different world I've never experienced. Like, it's pretty cool. So I agree. Keep NASCAR. Have we not learned from everything else? Like, you can be really good at one thing. You don't have to try to be a jack of all trades. Like, I don't get that. Like, be good at one thing. Like, be really good and be a good dude.
Why are you attacking me, dude? Are you an Esquire too? Is that what you're doing? Are you the Esquire?
I'm not.
Is this what this is about?
Is that the guy on Twitter that?
Yeah, says I could only talk about one thing at a time.
I stood up for you yesterday on Twitter. Thank you very much. It
sounds like that's just so you wouldn't be recognized as the perpetrator. It's your troll account. That's why he only has 48 followers.
I agree with Wombat, man. Keep NASCAR. I mean, what's next? Formula One race in Talladega, the high bank. I mean,
that would be awesome, though. That would be awesome. Let's
Actually,
do that.
Now that I think about it, that would be cool.
That would be. The crashes would be pretty dope. They just shoot right off the side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this world has lost its creativity a little bit. That's all. We're Band-Aid fixing.
So angry, Donkey.
I'm not
so
angry.
Innovate. You're a grumpy old man now.
I'm not.
Get off my lawn.
Talking about?
Don't change things.